people. What an entry there. Thank you. Okay, what are we going to do? We have 30 some minutes to talk about the future, all of it. And by the way, I love you. I absolutely love you because I can't be you. So I need to love you, to be with you in a right way, to appreciate you, your uniqueness and our differences. That's why we're here. That's why we talk about the future as we will right now. But first, let's talk about me a lot. It's important to be me. It's important that you are you. Because only through that reflection, that thin line that separates you and you, we can reflect each other and become we. And in the middle, especially now, is that human evolution that drives everything. From the fire that gave us meat, grew our brains, to the wheels so we could go places like Guatemala. This is human evolution. The me, we technology. And this is not the first time we try to imagine what could be. You know this gentleman, but you didn't know he had a hobby. Thomas Edison, the famous inventor, had a hobby, film cameras. He made science fiction movies. I don't know what he smoked, but I'd hope it was good because he sprinkled some freaking dust on chairs and they fly. Then he thinks, I put on my hat, which he does in a second, as you do, and sprinkles the same freaking magic dust on himself and flies away. Where does he go? Where did he imagine that he should be? What is this a prototype of? He's going to space, obviously. He's going to Mars. And there's a movie about Mars. He had this imagination, and only with the power of that imagination comes the power of that shaping. And we can then start to ask these questions about the future. And we talked about it yesterday. Why is the future so important? Why are you here? The me and the we's of this world. Why is the future so interesting? I think it's very simple. You, me, we, all of us, our dogs, our neighbors, everybody will spend the rest of our lives in the future. So we better ask the right, profound, deep questions every day. And the question is obviously, what's the future? And I tell you, like Pascal said yesterday, if I tell you what the future is, I'm insane or deeply, deeply in need of help. But the future is one thing, it's an action sport. It's like this. It hurts a little bit when you're doing it right. It feels very wrong when you're winning the gold medal because you don't know exactly what you're doing, which is also the set for today's stage. I will present something I maybe they haven't presented in the same way before. I cannot predict what will happen. You cannot predict the future, but you can prepare for it. And that's why we're here. Because the futures can be a little bit daunting. They can be hard. They can take us aback. Sometimes we don't understand that civilizations can go under. And this time, this civilization will go under on a massive scale because we are global. And the global warming, etc., is a massive problem. And these outlooks, these prototypes of the future can also be a little bit daunting. But remember, the future is a natural resource. It's renewable. Just us coming here, renew the hope. We just need to distribute it very, very well, as someone once said. And imagine that sustainability of the people, the planet, and the purpose, the me and the we. Everything that matters comes from this place of hope. And designing something is hope made visible. So let's design futures we all want to live in. And this is really fast. We have sensors on our bodies, in our bodies. They can discover cancer. It can tell you if you're drunk as well, if you eat too much sugar. We can connect ourselves to the internet. Both of these people are paralyzed. She's typing a new book. He's driving a Formula 1 car. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi controlling the world with magic or technology. These people told me, we have the best idea ever. We have human organs as a service. And I was thinking, that's very, very illegal. But they said we 3D print them. And that's okay. It saves animal testing. It opens up for education, learning, technology, me, we, belonging. Who are we? I can swallow this little thing. This is a grain of rice, by the way. and it will give my body temperature, a little bit of other stuff through an antenna for a while. And in the future, it's very possible, if you talk to the right scientist, which I did, to actually not only sense the data from my body, because I'm a walking, talking data, as you know. I can put data there. I can swallow something that goes into my brain, connects the neurology there, and maybe I can drink in the morning German poetry and Kung Fu, and combine these two new skills during my workday. Maybe. It's a future that we can design. And today we can design a human through CRISPR-Cas9. We can have vacations and work in space. 16 sunrises a day. That's good business, I think. We make art in space. Eyal Gaver, friend from Tel Aviv, made this. He made a little app so you can laugh to the app, because laughter is the only thing that connects the me and the we as humans. Some animals laugh as well. It's very human. And NASA 3D printed the best laughter pattern and shoot it out in space. Yep, that's the laughter. Now, we are creative, but technology is creative with us. This robot paints pretty beautifully, actually. But who is the owner of that art? Is it the human that coded that robot? Is this the robot itself? Is this the algorithms? We don't know. Is this the man walking a dog, or is the dog walking the man? The me-we relationship, the evolution, where are we going with all this? Another question that turned up, this is Barbie, a customer of ours, Mattel. You can question so many things about that. But Barbie was interviewed, and it was really good, because she has the same mechanism, like Siri, like Alexa, like all these things. But people didn't like it. Guys, the sound is on? Yes, it's on. Perfect. People didn't like it. They have to discontinue the product. They didn't trust the Barbie, because Barbie maybe listens to you, but they trust the Alexa and the Siri nevertheless. What's wrong with us? Well, we are human. We are ambiguous. We are strange. We are crazy. We are emotional, not always logical. This is why we also, when we saw many, many years ago, someone kicking these robots, people in the US actually wrote to PETA, which is the animal protection organization in the US, and complained. And PETA actually had to answer, these are not dogs. Stop writing to us. We have other stuff to do. We are emotional. Technology brings out that out of us. It's important to design for that. And crazy things are happening. Caterpillar, is it a sexy brand? I don't know. But they're building space machines. Excavations and buildings on the moon, we're going there, and the community, the we, immediately reacts. And I wonder, what's the copyright on that? How many brands can we mix up? Who's the producer? Who tokenizes this so I can actually have a return on my investment of this creativity? And this creativity going to Web3 and the technologies where we'll connect in very, very different way, we start to ask questions that technology can't answer, because it doesn't understand us. We need better visions of metaverse. Can I start again? Is it a philosophical question, or is it something we can Google? We are data, and we need to start to learn how machines understand us, because they do not. So we can make machines that start to learn human. This gentleman will be walking into a restaurant in Tokyo very soon after he pooped and peed and gave up his blood in these vessels. Yes, that's true. For them to create his health profile. So when he walks in, they 3D print a perfect piece of sushi for him so he can feel well. There you go. We give up our data. We put data in machines. Machines put data in food. We eat food. It's a circle economy, if you wish. And the chipsets today, first molecular microchip, size of a pea, 16,000 transistors. What would happen if I swallow that? Who can I be? How many me's are there out there? Who can I be in a Web3 environment when my ID is my ownership? Who am I when I merge with technology? And anybody that designs anything out there, like a future, must answer the question, humanity-centered design 2030, the we? What is human, the me, 2040? What is a relevant return on investment of these designs in the future? And these are tough questions because we are in the beginning, always in this genesis of the future. This conversation never took place back then because we just didn't know. Should we stick to our traditional algorithms or should we do machine learning? All my friends are in machine learning. No, this conversation never happened. But technology progresses nevertheless. Never in the human history have a good technology somehow disappeared. Once developed, it develops further. And it's up to us to bring out the relationship. And it's about time we do this because never in the human history has the present been so temporary. The science fiction is becoming science fact while we speak, and business fact, like obviously the metaverse and later meta. So the me and the we and the technology is also a relationship. Bauman, who've been thinking about humanity a lot, as you can see, he said that social forms do not solidify. It's a flow, ever-changing. How can we adapt to this? How can we serve that flow rather than fight it? We heard so much about how technology can be dangerous, can be really, really destroying people's lives. But we must also understand that the past always tries to control the creativity that builds upon it. Free societies enable the future by limiting the power of the past. This is important. It's not me, it's Larry Lessing. Creative Commons, very, very smart thing to say. But it's so hard to give up the past. We are nostalgic, for example. We are traditionalist. We are biased. We are human. We think Barbie will listen to our lives and give up that data to CIA. And you know, being old, like me, but being older doesn't mean that you're better in any way or have more experience. This young lady in her 20s discovered so much new science and technology that she got 2 Nobel Prizes in 2 different genres, physics and chemics. It's just not the case. We need to start to look at each other, the each of me, and love each other for our diversity and complete each other. And I didn't work for SAP all my life. I did this for 25 years. It's really good, still. What I'm trying to say, being a punk rocker as I grew up is actually being the young at heart, the person that questions something, persons that challenge the status quo, something that startup communities took up today, the creators, the innovators. They try to enable the world not by being only the reasonable person that adapts to the world around her, but being the unreasonable, that actually the one that thinks that she can change the world around her. So naturally, all progress is probably made by very unreasonable punk rockers out there. We need more rock and roll in business, people. We need more punk rock. Yeah, fuck yeah. And we need to start to lead from the future. Because if you start to lead from what you know today, you limit the scope of possibilities. And that's dangerous. And we need to start to ask these deep questions that I joked about before, about the future, from the future. Like, for example, Pussy Riot. 2 words you probably didn't expect to hear today. Pussy Riot, an art collective from Moscow. If we do not write the narrative of how we are going to explore and use a space, then someone else will. And you might not like it. So what do you want it to be? And this is not only our space outside our globe, but it's also the metaverses, the different spaces that we create. And if they are not in our liking, or our governments cannot keep up, we buy islands with 50,000 citizens that will be tokenized and utilized through NFTs, etc., as a community out there. So we take steps forward. We move forward. Technology builds new relationships. It's me, we, technology, and relationships. And that can be very tricky because people are tricky, as I said. The US military can today shoot a laser 200 feet through your winter jacket and hear your pulse beat, your heart. But it's not only that they can tell you your pulse. My Apple Watch does that better, probably. They can tell that it's my heartbeat. They can recognize Martin Wezowski through that laser. So they can read my heart. They know it's my heart. But do I understand what I really feel? I don't think so. There's no relationship. We need to build these relationships, and they matter. They are of highest value, the human intelligence and human relationships. It's a big study. Belonging, community, responsibility, compassion, creativity, imagination. This is the things we value. So we need to change the relationship to technology to each other. It's not only on personal level, on the me level, it's on the we level. We must move from profit and super controlled hierarchies and planning. I have a plan, therefore it must be good. No. Tell people why you're here. Network your ideas to empower people to experiment and tell everybody transparently how you feel about it. And learn as fast as you go. And learn faster than the institutions allow you to. This young gentleman took his sister for a hamburger because she thought that she deserved one. He drove there in this car. He was caught by the police. And they asked, how the hell did you, maybe they didn't say it like that, but hey, how did you learn to drive? And he said, I learned it on YouTube. Me, we, technology, and relationships to the rest of the world. Because we start to look at each other like this and ask, what the hell, what should we know? What is important? What is me and we and the technology and the relationship and learning? And the best answer ever is we have no idea. It's a great answer. Good science starts with, I have no idea. Let's find out. Let's explode this thing. And leaving this to the people, to the autonomous societies, is important. Hierarchy is over. I'm not saying that anarchy is here, but autonomy definitely is. This is Nordstrom's, a company from US. If you just join them, they tell you, welcome to Nordstrom's. Here's rule number 1, use your good judgment in all situations. There will be no further rules. That's anarchy. Or is it autonomy, holacracy, authorship? Is it humanity? I think so. Societies are changing. I love this screenshot I took, I forgot where. I'm so sorry about that. I was trying to look for it again. But I love what it says. Economy of scale, problem solving, value creation, diversity, decentralization, because centralization do not work. We have seen that. Resilience, anti-fragility. With every blow, we grow stronger because we are we. We learn from each other. I think these are the values where we're headed. These are important, human, autonomous values that augment us to something else. Me, we, and technology. Humanity. That's what we are. It's the only thing that matters. And if we keep this planet really, really well, maybe humanity survives. And I think to move forward, like this gentleman driving the car to McDonald's because his sister wanted a hamburger, he took the tools of the authority in his own hands. He liberated them. Because it was like that. If you had a steam machine some 100 years ago, you owned the process. And it's still so today. You can own the platform. Here, do it for me and I pay you. That was the society. All of a sudden we got a little bit of money. We went to school. We became experts. We have expert platforms that connect us, like the Facebooks, the LinkedIn's, or whatever you have out there. Here's what you can do if you're me, or join us and I take your money. That's not true liberation yet. But we are entering a new society, a new me-we relationship, where we can actually prove the work we're doing, the knowledge we have. We can learn and teach each other. We can mentor. And we can be an emergent group of people with an emergent wisdom of creativity. Here's something. I can't wait what you will do with it. That's the proposition. That's the business model. And it will change the way we work, because societies are a proof of work, proof of creativity. And the best human work is creative work. And it's not only me. Even Gartner says something that you can translate like this. People collaborating with learning systems is the future of that expertise that was locked in prison before. And we are all different. I love you because you're different. Remember? Now, anybody of you that created a product or a service had an idea what that product or service would serve, especially if it's software. Because you have a persona, right? You have an idea of that role, that function that will use that. And you release that product on the market. Like, for example, a toy, like this toy, or this toy. And then the user comes in. Fucking hell. That's it. Here's your KPI, happiness index. There. That's good. Tell me that this is wrong. This is as good as it gets. These are not personas, roles, and functions. These are people. These are individuals. They are me's. They make us up. We need to be nice to them. Make software for 10 billion different people. It's so rude that this is for you. No, actually not. It's for someone like you. These devices might understand us in the future. They can give us a little bit and they can take a little bit. But we need to co-own that stuff, especially if you blow it up from a company, because always there inside, there's a me, there's an individual. Humans and machines in an empathic symbiosis across any worlds. That's our vision. And it's my job at the company I work for to craft visions that are 5, 10, 15 years ahead. That's the sentence that describes and drives us for SAP. Just very quickly, how we want to illustrate this. The human in the center, our ingenuity, is the value creator. There is no algorithm out there that works really, really well for any kind of commerce unless there's a human data connected to it. You are the value the technology runs on. Technology needs to learn you and augment you. The augmented me, augmentation of the individual, not the persona. And if we can augment ourselves, we can augment our strategies, our decision-making, our progress, our politics, our leadership, our authorities in a holocratic, anarchical way that maybe work. And if we can run autonomously, like in anarchy, like in holocratic societies, we can run also networks of autonomy. I don't know why the colors are so cool right now, but let's leave it like that. Just be. And we need to start not only exploit what we have, the resources, the intellectual property, and hoard it. We need to start to explore for the future at the same time. Like Maya described, to dream in the future, it's like this rubber band. It's the same thing with innovation. You need to put the innovation out there and tense the rubber band into the future. You need to exploit where you are. You need to feel where you are. You need to explore where you're going. Otherwise, you could be going in circles without knowing this. The augmented me is a future. Now, let me give you a quick example I've been giving for a while. Let's see if this works. Hey, technology, what's up?
Good morning, Martin. You will have a fairly busy morning, but there is time for a good cup of coffee. Your biometrics show me that it would be good for you. But just one cup, remember.
Yes, so this thing knows that I drink too much coffee in the morning and my decisions go sideways after 3 cups. So only 1 cup is good for me. Also, I'm an evening person. That's very true. I'm useless in the morning. Don't have meetings with me in the morning. This thing knows that. It respects that. It knows my ambitions as well. And it knows all this data about me to support its reflection of me. It's a friend. Hey, me and Leia, we've been talking about the teams, how they hang out, how developers and designers hang out. At the same time, we don't want to spend too much money on travel. I'm actually not knowing here what I'm asking you, but can you help me?
When colleagues travel so they can spend time face-to-face, your delivery quality goes up 5%.
Okay.
That saves software maintenance costs with customers by 2.5%. I found the routes that would make sense economically and that allow the colleagues to spend the most time face-to-face. We will review them tomorrow.
I didn't ask for that, but this is damn useful stuff. I'm augmented to take superhuman decisions in a superhuman future. I am removing the constraints of human knowledge and combining them with our common wisdom. And we have been trying to do that through technology, through human history. We've always been working and trying to be on this high-value creative plane. of performance. Manual work, then routine problem solving, then non-routine problem solving came into our desktops. And in the end, cognitive and knowledge work. And in the end, creativity and explorations. Two things that people are excellent at. Curiosity, subjective story exchange. All the things we love. Having a glass of wine and tell me about your day. That's work, that's human passion. So we can leave that load of manual and cognitive work and start to focus on where the hearts lead us. And start to be like, just normal people. Superhuman. Human at last. Not lost in the hunting and the gathering of your Excel spreadsheets. That's bullshit. We need to free ourselves. The smartest app in the world is the one that makes you smarter. That makes me a me. Because we've been busy with the scalable efficiency of technology and our commercial models and the political models of the greed, the repeatable results, the standardized activities, the predictable outcomes on the market. All of that describes exactly a program, not a human. And we need to stop that. And this can be done. I think we can redefine what human work is, how we belong, and what value is. We could, for example, say that work is to surface, foster, and optimize our individual gifts to create a higher value in feelings, wisdom, self-actualization for ourselves, the me, and we, the communities around us. I think it's a good definition to start with. I have no idea, but I'm showing it to you so you can tell me. Richard Branson, that does a pretty good impression of me, he says, there is a reason why we are called human beings, not human doings. Don't forget to do your to-do list, but also have a to-be list. And I would even suggest to a become list. Who will you be in the future? Because we are all biased to be a little bit afraid of the other, the otherness. We are racist and all sorts of things. But we are also afraid of ourselves in the future. How will you change? What kind of me will you be? And we need to know that because we will hang out in the same community. So give us that data, give us that information and the knowledge so it can become some sorts of a wisdom. That's the value pyramid. And if you do any kind of products, you put them in a bag and you serve them. What you build is a relationship. Relationships and wisdom should start any product and service and technology discovery. What relationships will you have when this is released? These relationships will craft every service, product, and feature in your portfolio. Every piece of information and data will become that wisdom that we need. And here's a nice future example of such value set. It's obviously not American expressed, but if you can't read this, it says, created Wikipedia entry, edited Wikipedia entry, uploaded and tagged 22 public photos, downloaded a song legally, volunteered as a guide, monitor Atlanta Watch webcam for 15 minutes, recorded a podcast, Creative Commons license, etc., recycled, and so much more. How can we tokenize that society value? And again, just to remind you where we come from, this decentralization, this resilience, this sustainability comes from us hanging out in a very, very good way. I need to wrap up a little bit about the future here, the me and the we and the technology. I meet a lot of C-level people. 1 minute left. And this was a bank CEO. She was a silverback gorilla, I tell you. I was giving a closed-door sort of discussion lecture for 2 hours, talking about the future and where we might go. And she couldn't take it. She said, "Stop it. This is chaos. Martin, you're showing me chaos. Remember, I run a World Bank. I am in the business of stability. And you're showing me the opposite." I said, "Oh, wow. What is the opposite to stability, really? If you're afraid, if you don't know who you are, what your purpose can be and how you belong in this world. Obviously, anything that changes who you are right now is instability, is chaos. But if you see yourself and you augment it to take the decisions, to understand the world, to belong together, when technology becomes human evolution, when technology knows you and learns human as much as you learn technology, with respect and feelings and intelligence, maybe the opposite of stability is not chaos. It's not instability, it's evolution. It's emergence. It's systemic, political, geographical, economical change. The opposite of stability is evolution. And I leave you with one question. Why are you relevant 10 years from now? So you don't become that afraid of that future. Who will you be? Who will you be relevant to? Who is the we that you or me will belong to? And we talked a lot about trust. Kat told us how to trust each other. We talked a lot about technology being scary in a very, very funny way that Rosie showed us. We talked about dreaming of the future, like Maya said the other day. And we sometimes need to laugh about ourselves. Like this, like Rosie said, an application you won't forget, pen and paper. You can almost do anything with it. This is an application, pen and paper. This is like business travel ticket, right? You do a business travel, and then you have to fill it in to get your cash back, right? So this is from a gentleman that went on a business travel. You can't read it. Mr. Aldrin there. You can almost see it up there. It was 69. He went on a business trip, so he had to fill this in, 69 there. He used a company vehicle. It was a spacecraft, and he went to the moon. This is Buzz Aldrin's expense for going to the moon. He had to fill this in to get his damn $33 freaking back. And he had to wait 47 years so technology could make fun of this, or he could make fun of himself through technology by tweeting about it. This is humanity in progress, I believe. Now, nice, no? Who wrote this music? Any guesses? I mean, you know me by now. It's a trick question, obviously. It's a computer, a creative computer that listened to human creativity and created this beauty. The computer is called Ava, a name taken from a famous book that also includes a chapter called Genesis. That's the title of this song. Genesis, always a beginning of the future. We live in the history of our own future, and we will spend the rest of our lives in it. So I think me and you and everybody else, that we should start to design a future that we want to actually live in. Because that's very, very important if we want to have fun. And we want to have fun. And I'll leave you with a poem that I learned from Patricia, and she couldn't tell me who wrote this. And here it goes. You're a ghost driving a meat-coated skeleton made from stardust, riding a rock, hurtling through space. So fear nothing and have some fun while doing so. See ya in the future. Thank you.